for the exchange in just a moment. Joining the company now, Congressman Bilbray. He's a Republican of California. Congressman, thanks very much for being with us today. I want your
take.
Honor
to be with you, Stuart.
Well, I want your take on the arrests, the 8 arrests in the town of Bell, California. But what is it? You're from California. You represent a district in California. What does it tell you about local governance in an insolvent state?
Well, Stuart, you may not know, but I was a mayor of a small working-class community in my 20s. So I've had to confront the fact that constituents expect their fair share and decent government when it comes to local government. My take is really the fact that this is outrageous. The fact is that they've been trusted by the voters. And I think that the advantage you have in local government is that you're able to crack down on the crooks on that. You got to understand that, you know, these guys are going to jail for spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on the side. And you've got the same thing where the federal government is spending over $200,000 per job on a so-called stimulus bill, and they take credit for that. So at least at the local government, we're able to crack down, and the people are empowered. I think that's the one thing Republicans and Democrats in Washington don't realize enough. At least at the local government, the public can stand up and speak at the council chambers. They have an absolute right to call down their elected officials in public during chambers. You do that in Washington, you go to jail.
Okay, but let's get to the bigger issue of the insolvency of California. I think it's a pretty fair bet that California will get some kind of bailout from the federal government. You agree with that?
Sadly, I think so. As a Californian, I think that we've got to recognize that California is an example where we've pushed jobs out of the state. I just had the scientists at Scripps develop an algae that can produce diesel, but they have to leave the state to produce it because the government regulations will not allow them to build their plant within 10 years. That's the kind of stuff California's done.
Is a bailout politically feasible when you've got this outrage like Bell, California, and then going to the federal taxpayer for a bailout? I mean, that's not going to be popular, is it?
Oh, no, it's not popular what they've been doing before. But you got to remember, Stuart, they've been passing stuff that is not popular. The public doesn't support. The public is outraged, and then they wonder why there's such an outrage about the political situation that's coming up next month. So this is the detachment from reality that Washington looks at sending money into everything is spending money is the answer to everything, and that making sure that government is smarter, not necessarily bigger, is something that you just don't hear in Washington. The problem is always we just haven't spent enough money, so we're going to throw more money. It's easy to do it when it's somebody else's money, and especially when you see these kind of corruption cases where a city like Bell is getting almost $3 million of federal funds while they're going ahead and slipping these dollars into each other's pockets.
Congressman Bilbray, Republican, California. Thanks for joining us, sir. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Honor to be with you as always.